So I already talked about classification of bones. Now I'll be talking about the classification of joints. Now joints can be classified structurally, functionally, regionally, and depending on the number of bones taking part in the articulation. So let's start with the smallest one, that is the regional classification. Depending on the region, they are classified. How? For example, we have the skull, which is a very immovable bone. In the vertebra, they are slightly movable, and in the limbs, they are freely motile. So, this is the regional classification of the joints. Now, functional classification, we have synarthrosis, amphiarthrosis, and diarthrosis. Synarthrosis example are sutures. Amphiarthrosis, we have the secondary cartilaginous joints, and diarthrosis are the synovial joints. Regional classification, functional classification. Let's talk about the structural classification. Structurally, we have the fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints, synovial joints. And I have just given a few examples. This is a flowchart for your last minute revision. So, in the structural classification, we have fibrous joints. Fibrous joints are found in sutures, syndesmosis, and gomphosis. Cartilaginous joints, that is primary and secondary. Primary are also known as spheroidal, and secondary are symphysis or amphiarthrosis. These ones, amphiarthrosis. Okay. So cartilaginous joints, primary cartilaginous, secondary cartilaginous. Synovial joints, we have those very common ball and socket joints, sellar or the saddle joints, condylar or bicondylar joints, ellipsoid joints, hinge joints, pivoid or also known as the trochoid joints, and plane joints. Coming to the number of bones taking part in the articulation, we have simple joint, compound joint, and complex joint. The simple joint, which has only two bones, interphalangeal joints, like just two bones coming together and forming a joint. Compound joints means it has more than two bones taking part in it. It has one capsule, two bones and a capsule. So that would be your elbow joint and the wrist joint. And a complex joint means it has interarticular disc, more than two bones, a capsule, and the disc. So that would be your TM joint, example, sternoclavicular joint. Simple, compound, and complex, number of bones depending. And this is your classification of joints.